I start streaming. I set this to public. Hello. We are live. We should be live. I am hoping I am live. Welcome to the first of many weekly live streams. We're going to listen to some tracks. So I'm sitting here in my home studio. First of all, I want to do a massive shout out to Boombox, the platform that we will be using today and the platform that enables me to do these videos. So thank you. More on that later. I'll show you all about what Boombox is. But basically, this is a trial run, a pilot for a weekly live stream that I'll be doing, in which we'll talk audio, I'll listen to your tracks, give you feedback, and yeah, whatever we do. I am trying to find a good way to hop in the chat, so maybe I should get my other phone out and see if I can follow the chat over there. Should have done that before I did this, but hey, you can't be perfect. Even I cannot be perfect. So where is my own live stream? Well, I'll figure out a way to do that, because then I can see the comments and actually talk to you as well. Yeah, I'll give me a moment and then I've got it. If anybody's watching that wants to send me the live stream, it's very vague, but I'll figure it out. Nice. Let's go to Boombox. So here you've got Boombox. I uploaded a story to Boombox saying, hey, you can all send in your track and then I will be giving feedback on it. So it seems like a lot of you have done so. Let me refresh so I'm not missing anything. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go through all of these, because we'll be here for a while. And I've got about an hour and a half. I was thinking last time I did a live stream, I thought it would be an hour, and it became like way longer than that. So without further ado, let's hit the first one. I'm going from the bottom to the top. Make it drop. Okay, stop, Thomas. This is basically me. I yap. I go all over the place. So enjoy if you like that. Could be that you hate that. Then enjoy as well. Let me see. Are we getting sound? Okay, it looks like we're getting sound.
Meters disappear, doubt will fade away. Lights come on again, illuminating the way.
Okay, first thing that stands out to me is that it's melancholic, dramatic, and everything, but the mix doesn't really do the same for me. I want it to be chaotic, and I want to live inside of the mind of the singer that has a really clear identity in their voice and way of singing and everything. And I'm really clearly hearing a guitar on the right. The drums are very mellow, and I would love it to be a little bit more crunched and a little bit more packed and a little bit more struggling. It feels too nice mix-wise right now. So let's listen to the rest. How's that mono-wise? Okay. That solo guitar on the left is very, very much dragging everything to the left, I feel. It would have been great if there was something of equal energy in the same frequency range on the right as well. That way you get a lot of width, and it doesn't pull your head to one side. I mean, hard panning something is a great way to create contrast, get a wide mix, but if it's only to one side, it gets very lopsided and it gets a little uncomfortable to listen to. There is there is a guitar there, but it's just not playing the entire time, which makes it very lopsided to that side. Could also be cool to auto pan that vocal. Something like that. You can still send in your track. I cannot guarantee that I will be playing it because there's a lot here. But we'll do this next week if you guys like it. Let me know, and we'll do this next week as well. And then I can go over some more tracks. Let's see if there are any comments. Sound is good. Are you streaming on Twitch or YouTube only? I am doing YouTube only. How can I send my song? Next time I'll post the link in the description. But basically, you go to Boombox. Is it still in my story? I don't know if it's still in my story. Maybe it is. Next track. Also, the first thing I am doing, and why I really wanted to do this headphoneless, because normally when you see people do streams, it's like with a headphone. I wanted to be on my ATCs because I know them right away. I really, whenever I hear a mix, I know like, okay, this is where it's sitting, and this is what needs to happen. This is where the low end needs to sit. This is what's bright. This is what's sharp. So I needed to have that. So I have a set volume on my Apollo, and it is minus 52 over here. It's like 2.5 LEDs, 2.5 lights on there. So I always keep it fixed there. That's also how I mix. When I mix, I've got my master chain on there, and then sometimes I turn it up, but then I always go down to the 2.5 lights or the minus 52, just so my ears are completely in check, and it's always the same thing, and I know if it sounds like this at that particular level, then it's good. Okay. Next, what is mixing? Oh, I think that's for another day, explaining what mixing is. We're a bit further along in the process today. Today we have already mixed, and we're going to listen to some tracks, have some feedback, some strings.
फिर से मिला दे सब माटी में, जैसे मिटा दे वो हस्ती मेरी, कर दे खत्म एक इशारे से। कितना भी ढूंढूं मैं खुद को, पूरे कभी ना मिल पाए थे, ना मिले हिस्से वो मेरे कभी, जो कभी तुमको थमाए थे। हो जाएंगे पागल जो सोचे तुम्हें, पर पागल ही होंगे जो सोचे ना। शब्द जिनमें लिखे सब नाम तेरे, कह दो वो खत तुम तक पहुँचे ना। कागज तो कागज है जाने मन, पन्नों को आग लगा देना। इतनी इनायत करना सनम, ना इश्क पे दाग लगा देना। हो जाना तुझे कभी तो ये लगा होगा, प्यार किसी कोने में मेरे लिए भी रखा होगा, या दिल की आवाजों में भी कभी खुद गर्ज के अलावा भी कुछ जगह होगा। कोई आस कोई इल्म कोई याद कोई निशानी, कभी जहन तेरा तुझसे तो लड़ा होगा। कभी मुड़ के तू देख लेना, जाना ये मुरीद तेरा आज भी वही खड़ा होगा। चले जाओगे तुम इन सरहदों के पार, पर जिक्र मेरा दिल मेरा खोगे क्या, यूं अश्कों के जख्म।
Okay, so it's cool. It's got a lot of contrast, and it's really cool to see that you start with strings and then the rest comes in. And at the beginning, the early vocal, it felt a bit buried and a bit dark. It felt a bit too far to the back. When the main vocal came in, it was better, but it still feels a little bit harsh and not super bright in your face. I feel that is part of what I would like to hear. I also feel that it could get some extra push, some extra loudness, could be more in your face. I feel like the low end could be more powerful. So that is why I grabbed my Pro Q3. I am able to route everything through a little chain, so I can level some stuff out, check some EQs, and check some stuff over on Adapter Metric AB. Yeah, I think a low shelf would bump things up a bit. Maybe if you have the files separately, then make sure the bass is making enough room for the kick. And then, sorry, I've got a little bit of a cold coming up, so I'm trying to make this the least amount of gross as possible, but there is a very compressed mic in my face, so it will amplify all of that stuff. You're welcome. Yeah, so I would like make enough room in the bass for the kick, and then bump up some beef in the kick and take that area out in the bass, basically. And then around 2.5K is usually for vocals, where I feel it would be best to gut a little. And furthermore, what's loudness doing? What are we loves wise? And how are we mono wise?
पर एक दिन मैं याद आया तो क्या करोगे, बेचैन इन यादों से उठ के तुम रातों से कैसे बचोगे, तो फिर क्या करोगे।
Okay, so I'm missing a lot of synths here. By the way, Instagram, head over to YouTube. The link is in my bio. There's 3 links. One of them is YouTube. Head over there and watch the live stream. I feel here there's in stereo it has nice width in the synths and it's lush and everything, but in mono those synths are just not mono compatible enough, which drops them down in mono, and now the vocal is really naked on top of it. I would look at if there's any stereo widening tools. Waves S1 Imager is a very infamous one that always causes too many issues. So if you're using that, don't use that anymore. Instead, I like using choruses. I like using stereo slap delays. Yeah, basically doublers sometimes. I like doing more of that stuff, but what gives you the most amount of width, and it's probably not the best idea for this synth because it probably already is a stereo synth. But the best way to get stereo info, to get a wide mix, is ban one thing to the left, ban a completely different thing to the right, and then create width. One of the great techniques you could do if you have a mono synth is ban the dry synth to the left. Sorry, dry synth to the left for you, and then the reverb delay chorus in a Juno 60. They have like one side is chorus and one side is a dry synth. I believe that is the way that chorus works, but that way you get a big contrast between left and right, and you get an insane amount of width. So think about that next time you're making a track and you want it to be wide. If every single element is wide, then nothing is really wide because it's the difference between left and right. Let me quickly go to the comments. Oh, there are some comments. I'm facing a problem whenever I export my final master. It sounds a little different without changing any master settings changed. When you export your final master, it sounds a little different than the master you're hearing in your session, you mean? I would check if you have everything routed correctly. Maybe something is not going to a particular bus. Just release it on YouTube on this channel. Okay, listen. Send it and I can listen. Let me see. ASMR Gross Edition. Yes. Especially for you. Okay. Let's go to the next song. Every once in a while, I'll check if there is any questions in the comments.
Moving on, let me make it clear. There's no time to hide. I gotta face my fears. Get to know the real me, true me. Yo, what's up, dude? Yeah, I'm working late. What are you up to? Got any plans for the week or the next one too? Stuck in my head, a lot of bad thoughts too, right? Day after day, the time is flying by. Night after night, I am telling myself, if you move away, don't wait for me. Just go out the door like 1, 2, 3. Come on, live your life in
mono compatibility wise, this track has the same that the previous track has. The synths are too wide, which is nice in stereo, but as soon as you fold it down to mono, there's a big gap between the drums and the vocals being loud, and then there's nothing to fill it up because all the instruments, the main synth, just lost 10 dB, and now you've got this gap to fill. So that would be one thing I would say. Another thing I would say is the kick is very, very loud. I think if you take down the kick and you then bring up the entire track, you could probably win 3 dB of headroom. If you lower the kick 3 dB, you push up the entire track, then the entire track is bumping much more. It's got a lot more power. You can get it louder, and the low end will feel more impressive because there it is all turned up except for the kick. But if you make enough room for your kick and your bass, then that energy will still be there and will still have enough power to cut through.
change for me. Look at who you want to be. Wait, hold on, wake me up. I'm locked locked in my room, don't chain me up. Everybody outside on the best friend's side. Why did nobody...
So the vocals have room, but they definitely need to go up and they need to be more present. So first thing I would try is turning this vocal up 3 dB and then seeing what frequencies are going to stand out, because when it's too loud, then I find it's easier to find the frequencies that I don't want to be in there, that get in the way, that make it stand out a little bit too much. But I really like making the vocals a little bit too loud and then taking out the frequencies I don't need for it to fit in the mix. And also a little bit of saturation can help give it a little bit more richness and character.
Come and pick me up, like your street might be a one way. It takes just a single day to cheer you up. You ain't gotta be so scared, don't waste your time. Everything is alright, it's just you and I. Fight against your will because you decide. Do it right now, do it right now, hey. If you move away, don't wait for me. Just go out the door like one to decide. Do it right now, do it right now, hey.
That, a transition like that would have been a great way to create some width in that last section. If you just, before you get into that riser over there, that transition,
right now, hey.
Before that riser, you make it more mono and you make it more empty. So you take something away from someone, from the listener, and then with that riser, at the end of that riser, everything goes wide and big again. That way you don't necessarily have to invent the width all over again. You don't necessarily have to make it wider than it was before, but just by taking it away from them and then giving it back, that contrast in that tiny section, that will give it so much more energy, and it's a reward for the listener. So that's cool. Okay, you sent in 2, so I'm sorry, I'm only going to do the first one. Let's do the next.
Остави се кдай, изклопи свит и не размишляй. Как gre ta pot, ki zavija, kdaj gre naprej. Ustavi čutil nasmešek, zdaj si zbral tvoj srčni pospešek. Trendi so le bežni utrip, izpuhtijo že jih več ni. Če ti okej, se malo smej, nove poti pred tabo se odpirajo. Če ti okej, se okej, jih več ni. Trendi so le bežni utrip, izpuhtijo že jih več ni. Če ti okej.
That's a great transition to just take it away from them and give it back. I'm just not sure about the hard getting back into it. Maybe a really slight riser that just shoops. Oh no, shoops. I called the Shoops brand Shoops. Sorry, I'll try to not get distracted. I made a video for Shoops and I called them Shoops, but it's Shoops. So now I have to re-record the video because I said Shoops instead of Shoops. Okay, if you add a Shoops, great. Before that, just a little one. You don't have to do a riser of a second and a half, like just shoot. Then maybe you just fling into it a little bit, because now it was just a dry. We're back.
Se malo smej, nove poti pred tabo se odpirajo. Če ti okej, se malo smej, moja idej se kmalu pismi zlijejo. Dvome kot
Doesn't
strup,
really like my EQing.
tvoje sanje zamegli. Ne išči naprej, vse kar rabiš že
I'm trying to get
imaš.
more energy.
Usta vleče ti v nasmešek, zdaj si zbral tvoj srčni pospešek. Trendi so le bežni utrip, izpuhtijo že jih več ni.
Come on.
Če ti okej,
Come on. Stay with
se
me.
malo smej, nove poti pred tabo se odpirajo.
Definitely dip something
Če
here.
ti okej, se malo smej, moja idej se kmalu pismi zlijejo. Če ti okej,
Dipping somewhere in the mid-range around, what am I doing? Somewhere between 2K and 5K. If you're dipping areas there, if you dip the right areas, this is a really hard area to EQ, because it's very satisfying if you take it out, because now all of a sudden the harshness is gone and things become warmer. It's a great area for that, but it's also where stuff lives and pokes through when it's your mid-range presence and everything. So you have to be careful there, but the right amount of that area can make your track sound a little bit more warm and expensive and nice. Too little of that can make it not be exciting at all. And too much of that just sounds like you mixed in FL Studio in 2003. But sorry for the FL users. Sorry for all the FL haters. Hey, FL's great. I started on FL too. I love you guys. So hey, don't come at me. I feel this track. It's cool. It's nice. The mix it's there, but it's mixed a little bit too nice, maybe. I feel it could get a little bit more extra push that makes me want to move. It's great if you have a nice open mix and everything has space for each other and all of that works, but I don't know, getting the feel right and getting me to move is more important than that. I'd rather have an ugly mix that makes me want to move than a really nice mix that makes me sit in my chair and go like, oh, cool, this is a song, nice. It's a good job, but I think it needs a little bit more character. Karakter! Oh, come on. Yeah, having a mute button on this mic is amazing. I'm using the Ray by Lewitt, and I can also do the distance. I don't have it turned on because my hands are in the way too often.
Jak na morzu tratwa.
The mute is great because I can just yap and that.
Wiatr mi gra na wantach, kiedy słyszę śpiew. Gdzieś w oddali morski mech. I tak krążę węgle zabity słowami, a w klatce rozdarty na strzępy dynamit. Nie próbuj ocalić, już wybrałem drogę. W głowie tak wiele, że popadam w klaustrofobię. Rozpalone serce, ale skute lodem. Podpowiada ciągle, że jeszcze nie koniec. Jeżeli mnie kochasz, to nie rania powiedz, bo przestałem wierzyć już w ludzi na dobre. A może czeka gdzieś za rogiem happy end. A może tym rzucisz, gdy zmotyli każdy zdech. Płyniemy przed siebie, lecz nie wiemy, gdzie jest brzeg. Gdzie jest brzeg? A może czeka gdzieś za rogiem happy end. A może tym rzucisz, gdy zmotyli każdy zdech. Płyniemy przed siebie, lecz nie wiemy, gdzie jest brzeg. Gdzie jest brzeg? Oddałem tak wiele, by mu.
Again, same thing with the mono. We gotta get you guys to use the mono button more often, because yeah, even though yes, we're a lot of the times we're working in stereo now and everything is in stereo, but there are still a lot of mono devices around us and mono setups in clubs, in some gyms, a lot of spots like that where there's a public system, a PA system, very often are set up in mono. And if then half of your track suddenly disappears and your vocal is so naked, then yeah, it's not going to feel right for the people that hear it over there. So I think definitely don't break your back over having everything exactly the same in mono, but just check, like, okay, if I'm switching to mono, am I losing something really important? Is something going to be disconnected from the rest of the track? Stuff like that is really important, and just check it every once in a while, just as you check it on high levels, on high volumes, on bigger speakers, to get a bit more movement and feel like where your harshness is at. And just as you hopefully listen on low levels on smaller speakers to hear if your mid-range is okay and if the lows and highs are gone, that you actually still have a balanced track. It's all stuff like that that needs to become second nature to you if you're mixing, that you can just go like, okay, I know where I'm at, and flipping through those setups just makes my life a little bit easier and makes for a quicker way to identify at what stage my mix is and what needs to happen to get it to that final stage. For example, I'm using the ATC SEM25s for 90% of my work. Then I've got HS5s, Yamaha HS5s. I don't want high-end stuff. I had the head type 05s, but they sound too good for this option. If I'm going to set up a second setup, for example, if my studio is going to another place and here I still need to work, I will do a setup with the heads type 5s because I am comfortable. I can do a lot of work on it. But next to the ATCs, they were just too full range, too detailed, too much for me. So it didn't give me what I needed. So it's great to have a cheap option. You can get R-tones, you can get NS10s, whatever works for you. Thanks for limiting your track before you send it to me, so I don't have to go through a limiter here and go through all that trouble. And we actually have like a set level of what the track needs to be, so I can actually judge the tracks as you intend them to be judged by me.
Every time we talk I feel like breaking up, but then we act like nothing happened, so we make it up. But there's a special place inside my heart, I keep your stuff, let's keep it up. I'm begging for the day that I can pack it up. And every time we fight I fuck it up, like I'm gambling your love, I gotta test my luck. There's a special place inside my heart, I hate your guts, so pack your stuff, I'm heading out alone, so baby don't wait up. I'm gonna tell you things you don't wanna hear. On me, I'm sitting
like that.
right where I want. You don't wanna hear.
Take it away.
Don't check it on me.
That was really bad timing on my end. I'm sorry, but I like stuff like that. Okay,
I'm gonna tell you things you don't wanna hear. Don't check it on me. I'm sitting.
It's like when you're dealing with a kid. It's like they've got their candy, they're starting to be annoying, you take the candy away, they start to shout and scream, then you give the candy back to them and they go like, oh, this is nice. and all you did was just give the candy back after stealing it. So basically the same thing.
Right where I wanted to be, and I don't care. You're begging, you plead. There's nothing I can do, so stop bothering me. Now don't bother checking on me. I'm standing here exactly where I wanted to be, and I don't
Okay, party
care.
mode.
You're begging me, please. There's nothing I can do, so stop bothering me. Just don't. Just don't. Okay, that's enough. I really could have saved it if I wanted to, but if you don't give a shit, then I don't give one too. It takes a lot of mental fortitude to make it through, which I don't do, so you can see the answers through the cracks come through. I'm gonna tell you
doing
things
love
you don't wanna
songs?
hear, so protect yourself and cover your ears. Don't you bother me again, be a dear, and listen here when I say don't bother checking on me. I'm sitting right where I wanted to be, and I don't care. You're begging,
And
you
you've got
plead.
heavy.
There's nothing I can do, so stop bothering me. Now don't bother checking on
much
me.
with it?
I'm standing here exactly where I wanted to be, and I
Wow,
don't
don't know.
care. You're begging me, please. There's nothing I can do, so stop bothering me. Just don't. Just don't.
Just here I'm thinking it gets a little bit too crowded, and by making it that crowded in the mix, you lose a little bit of the groove. It's really cool, it's a good mix, everything is there, I'm feeling it, but right there, I'm just feeling that it gets a little bit too crowded.
Don't care. You're begging me, please. There's nothing I can do, so stop bothering me. Just don't. Just don't.
Think because there's like the brass section and then there's delays going, and I think I'm hearing some synth stuff, and it's just a little bit too packed, and they're making it messy, which is cool, but we're also losing a bit of the groove. That would be the only thing I would change about it, but I like it. Okay, is he mixing or mastering? I'm late, so let me take a little bit of a break to tell you about what I'm doing here. So I am doing mix feedback session. I'm also yapping my audio, so if you have any questions, drop them in the comments, basically, because now I've got my phone to the left, so I can actually check what the comments are doing, and I can answer some questions you've got. I am basically going over the tracks you've sent in. I posted on my story, I posted a link to upload your track, and I am giving mix feedback. So I'm checking your mix and giving you pointers on how you can improve all of that. I am using Boombox for that, and Boombox is amazing because Boombox is basically, can we go to a new Boombox thing? Log in. Oh, no. Okay, sorry. I should have set that up before. We are at Don't Bother. Okay, great. Boombox basically is, they say it's like Dropbox and SoundCloud, and it basically, we transfer you can set up all of your streaming stuff. Oh fuck, guys. Here we go. Here's Boombox. it's the first trial. Sometimes you mess something up. I need a stream thing somewhere so I can actually fix everything. So now you can see my screen as well. We've got Boombox. Sorry, I've been going through a lot of EQ and limiter and adapter metric AB stuff and everything that you haven't seen. I'm very sorry for that. Next time I will make sure I've got that all jack before we start. basically Boombox. Boombox is great because you can upload files and well, like here you can give me a note. So here with this track, recorded, produced, written, mixed, mastered by Aiden Swift. Great. You can put that on a timestamp, which is great. So on 7 seconds. So what we could do in a mixing situation, I could make like a folder and I could say, hey, I'm mixing your entire album. Here are all the mixes. Then you can put a timestamp here, say, yo, kick is too loud. Oh, hey, yo, here, maybe turn up the synth. Here, vocals can come down a little bit. Here, la 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 la. You can even do voice notes, I believe. There's a bunch of stuff that I still need to dive in to, but that is great. That is basically what you wanted to do. There is a discount code through me. Did I put it in the description though? I'm not sure, guys, if I put that in the description. Otherwise, next time it will be in the description. It's a pilot. It's a trial. I'm sorry. I haven't streamed in a long time, so sometimes stuff goes not completely how you want it. But hey, we're having fun, and that's all that matters. Borderline, mix and master. Are there any questions? Just how can I say my song? Next time I'll put the... yeah, if you missed the deadline today, we're not going to get through it because I'm already 40 minutes in. And I have all of this stuff to do still. So I don't even think I'm going to get here. But I'll post the link again next week so you can all upload your tracks for next week. Where were we? Borderline, mix, master. Oh wow, a lot of low end on there.
Borderline between it's fine and it's not okay at all.
A lot of high end.
Trying to keep my cool, be elegant, stand tall, but you play me so hard like a violin. Now for you it was just a perfect sin.
We've got a little bit of 10K on our vocal.
It's a shame that I'm used to sin.
Okay, so it's nice and full before this comes, but this almost sounds more impactful than the drop when the drums come in a second.
It's a shame that I'm used to
What
having
happened?
you always be around. You're a pain when you play this game.
Come on,
When you hurt me till I'm blue, but I'm free now. Ultimately free from you now. Borderline between delete a number or give it a call.
I think it's a little bit too light on the low end over there. We need a little bit more balls underneath to actually get that popping. What I would do is the section before the drums come in, I would lower that. And if you don't have enough room in the drop to add extra lows, I would take out some lows from the beginning. I know it's a shame because that synth has a lot of low end and that's nice. But what's happening now is that you've got an intro with a lot of low end and it sounds really nice and balanced. But then you go into, what's that? Is that the hook or the drop? And then we're way lighter in low end and it just doesn't really take it to the next level. So you could automate the low end. So you could actually add some low end when the drums come in. So the entire track gets more energy in the low end and actually gets that groove from the low end action there. And you could also take that first section before the drums down 1 dB, 2 dB, so the level of the track jumps up when those drums come in.
I try to be what you want me to be, but I'm giving it up. But you played me so hard like a villain, acted like it was perfect, but it isn't.
Definitely also takes some time to get those S's right, because it's they jump out a lot. So definitely do manual de-essing if you can spare the time, if you have the time to do that, or get your de-essers in check. I think dipping the 10K can help a lot. Yeah, it needs a little bit of attention, but de-essing is not rocket science. So go do it. Just takes a little bit of time.
It's a shame
Again,
that I'm
not paying off.
used to having you always be around. You're a pain when you play this game where you hurt me till I'm blue, but I'm free now.
That's like vocals have good presence. They've got their own space. The synths are there. Everything is clear. It just doesn't move enough in that hook. So that would be what I would address first. Azuzu, good man. Nice.
I'm just keeping it real out here.
Keep it real out here.
For real. I thought that everyone would see my mistakes. Thought everyone would see that I'm the lamest to date. Never worth shit. Undermine God with a good bitch, good shit. Love fuller than a stacked fridge. Payolas and armed robbers. I guess the day of judgment is finally upon us. Was I a good man? Provided shelter with tents. Is one life enough cause I'm able to save 10? Would you see me for myself? I'm still able to be friends. These scars won't heal when I open them up again. Too scared to feel cause I'm opening up again. Aw shit, here we go. Again I gotta dip, I gotta find a way home. Don't mind if you don't listen. At least these walls reflect. There's something you've been missing. I came to recollect. Something to reminiscing. No game in what you lack, yet I came with a proposition. To learn to let go.
I like the contrast. I like the production. I like what you're doing. But if it's a vocal heavy track and then all of a sudden you don't have the vocal anymore and there's other elements taking up the attention span of your listener, I don't know if that's actually... Okay, Thomas, let's go. Make sure that those elements are also as prominent in the mix. So all of that stuff here, the guitar, those vocals, the saxophone needs to come up.
Have to learn to let go.
Now you're jumping up there. And it doesn't have to be. It's not a boring in-between section. You can actually make that speak and make that have that contrast. And actually get those elements out there to keep it interesting, because now it just felt like, okay, this is a B part. There's not too much to it. It's not that interesting that we're going to put enough effort in there. Maybe you did put a lot of effort in there, but that is how it comes across to me. And I would love for this to be like, yo, we're going into section B, and there's this, and there's this, and there's this, and there's the saxophone, and there's all of that stuff. Actually make it give me that contrast. So I actually want to go back to that section and go like, oh shit, that's dope.
Something that you knew, I knew it better than before. No cause to let you through into my mind and let it snow. My breath turned to ice cause I'm a victim to the code. Two-tone responses, Michael from the office. I cannot pretend, I wasted potential friends. Rise and fall again, we fight and make amends. We fight and battle tens, make wounds we try to mend. Like scars we settle in, like Beckham we like to bend. The meaning we can't invent, I cope through different means depending on my intent. Souls are meant to bleed, mine just needs to vent. I've had it, won't let my life be tragic, ecstatic. To make my new self so different, so drastic. Stretched in, call me elastic, I've had it. Yeah, I've had it. Somebody give me this life of code so I can crack it.
I think these two cuts I would do on the vocal. So we've got about 2.5K and about 9.5K. I would cut those on the vocal. Just to make it feel more warmer, not jump out of the track that much, and make it feel more expansive, you know? Okay, next song. Muy different. Okay, build up. See, that's dope. And there you go. Okay, that section of just guitar on the left, it got a little bit uncomfortable, but because it didn't last that long and it got met with, yo, we've got guitars on the right and everything is back again, it creates great contrast. Okay, I've got one question. Can I put this on party mode or are my ears going to bleed? My neighbors hate me. I think my neighbor is going to come downstairs to tell me her baby just woke up and she hates me for the rest of my life because I turned this up too loud, or your mix was too loud. Could also be. I'm not super familiar with the genre, so let me put that out there first. It's not a genre I normally mix. I just feel it could be a little bit brighter and the vocals are screamy and dark, but they're a little muddy maybe. I like the contrast stuff. I like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on. I turned it off at exactly the transition to a completely different part of the song, I guess. I like how it comes in again then, but now, same as with the previous track, that synth part with the very dry snare now feels like there wasn't enough attention put into that. So it's like, okay, we're just here's a little bit of a boring section so we can get back into it again. That's a shame. Maybe that's a genre thing. Could be. Maybe there's more people in this genre that do that. I just felt it was a little bit of a shame.
Waiting
colors.
Talk to me in color, baby. I'll never be the same.
Is the vocal supposed to be on the right?
Talk to me in color, baby. I'll never be the same. Never be the same. Never be the
It's a very interesting production composition, but it's all over the place. There's a vocal to the right, there's a vocal to the left. The vocal to the right is very thin, the vocal to the left is even thinner. I don't know if that is supposed to just be a soundscape in your track. Could be. I feel it could be more leading because nothing else is really taking the lead here. It would have made more sense if there was like a leading synth in the middle, and then the vocals are a bit more to the left and the right, which it makes me think that your vocals are actually the leading instrument in this production. And then it just feels a little bit, it's a cool idea, but I think execution wise it could just be a little bit better, and that just depends on what route you want to go. If you want to go to the pop music standard, then the vocals being this thin and band hard right, while there's for a pretty big section no vocal on the left, I would watch out with that because that just draws the entire track to the right. And if you're giving it more body later on and making it a more full vocal, then it's definitely going to draw the balance of the track more to the right. So I would be careful with that. Also, I don't know if you put auto tune on there or if you're tuning manually, but I would check some sections of the song to just make sure you're in the right tuning and everything is where it should be. Stuff like that synth, that pulsating synth should come up a bit more because it needs to be featured a little bit more, these elements. Let's see. Golden Beach among the trees. That's where I want to be right now because it was snowing in Amsterdam today. Get me out of this place, please. Also, by the way, this is not just a mix feedback session. It is also a Q&A and a random ramble session. So it's basically therapy for me. And you get the benefit from me just yapping to a camera because I have nothing better to do in my life. What I actually wanted to say, leave me a comment. Ask me a question. ask me anything you want to know, and I'll yap away. It doesn't have to be just me listening to tracks and giving my feedback and insulting people. I can insult people while I'm actually talking about other stuff too. Pretty good at it.
Sound of the sea, the singing of the birds, golden beach among the trees. All of this summer days, it reminds me of you. It reminds me of you. The sound of the sea, the singing of the birds, golden beach among the trees. All of this in summer days, it reminds me of you. It reminds me of you. Golden beach among the trees. All of this summer day. It reminds me of wszystko.
There's a lot of cool elements in this track. The synth, the soundscape thing is great. The vocal tone is good. It's a little bit low in level, which makes it a bit buried, but yet again, I also feel that makes me come into that soundscape a little bit more. It just doesn't completely connect for me. Maybe it is because the two rhythms are not completely connecting. I like the idea of what you're doing. I like the vibe of what I feel the intention was. But it's not locking in. Oh, sorry. It's not locking in for me. I said sorry to a microphone. What? I actually said sorry to you guys. I care a lot about you guys. Yeah, there's something about the locking in. Maybe if you haven't recorded this with a click track running while you did this, maybe that could help get in there, because maybe you feel you've got a certain rhythm there that you relate to. But for a listener, I feel it also needs to be really clear what the cadence of the track is. And personally, or I cannot comprehend this. That could also very, very, very well be the case. But it was just a little bit hard to get into. And I do really like the vibe, sound choice, and the color of the voice. So there's definitely elements there that can make this work really well. And I am Zen all of a sudden.
You out.
Next. Questions, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be a lurker. Drop some questions in the inbox. I feel like a DJ.
You out.
Almost.
You out.
Let's do party mode. Let's anoint my neighbors.
You out.
taking a little bit of 250 out of that kick can make it feel less, I want to say woody, boxy. The way it sits in a little bit better. Going with a long kick is cool because the bass line is up a bit higher and a bit more jumpy. I do feel the kick is a little bit too long, occupying all of that low end energy, and by that slowing down the track a little bit. It could be a little bit quicker if the tail of that kick wasn't so tubby. Also, let me know in the comments what you think about tracks, because it's also your feedback. Like, I am not the god of mixing here. You also have ears, and I would love to hear also from you what you think. Also, if you think like, hey, this dude is out of his mind and you're just yapping bullshit, let me know. Because I also don't know everything. I don't hear everything. And I think, yeah. Let me know your thoughts. Was there room for a little bit more of a transition there? Yeah. It's good. Mono? Is that me? Was that a mistake? Was that didn't really feel like it belonged there, but maybe it did. Maybe it got me out of the groove, so it felt like it wasn't supposed to be there. Let's check another song. Okay, is this really so low? Sorry, I have to fix my nose again. Ugh. Gross. It's really so low. Okay, let's put the Pro L up. Is it mono or do I still have mono on? Oh no, guitar slightly to the left.
Oh,
Okay, I think the main issue with the track right now with the mix, it's not really hitting home for me, and I feel it's a basic balance thing. Like the drums are not really coming through. You can also see it over here on the Pro Q3 when I'm playing it. If you look at the Pro Q3, sorry, the Pro L. Okay, I'm limiting a little bit too much. Very short transits. There's not a lot of stuff going on that kick. I think that could be a little bit more beefy, and the drums could just get a little bit more weight and low end and power over there. Because now it just doesn't drive the groove, and that just, yeah, for the entire track, that just stays, it just stays very light, and I think it could just do with a lot more low end energy, fullness, and then, yeah, would fit together a bit better already. Also, the kick is very high. I would like to have some like 60 hertz energy there, so I don't know what happened there, but there's very little low end info going on. Can I just pin this? Oh, not? How do I do that? Pin. And then you stay? Yeah. Great. Cymbals are very, very, very out there, so those can come down as well because your vocal is not cutting through. There I add some effects to the vocal over there. Maybe a stereo delay thing, reverb there, just to make it bigger, more epic, and a bit wider. Make it blend in more with the chaos of the rest. Yeah, basically that. Let me see. I will go on for 15 more minutes. So I'll try to do a couple more and make it a little bit quicker. But hey, it's fun over here. For those of you that just tuned in, I'm doing mix feedback over here. This video is sponsored by Boombox. Go check out Boombox. They enable me to do this, to make some free time for you all and listen to your songs and give you feedback on there. So that is great. If you are using Dropbox, SoundCloud, or any other service for storing your files and transferring files over to each other, you got to check out Boombox. I think I didn't put the link in, but I've got a discount link for you all that I will definitely put in once the video is online. But yeah, there you can grab a little bit of a discount from me for you. Let's check the next song. DJ Soyboy. That's actually great contrast, having that synth thing on the right, so your ear gets pulled that way, and then you come back in again. Like that. Okay, love's value is minus 6.8, was it? What was it? Yeah. Minus 7-ish. So that is really good. What's it doing in mono? This section is pretty mono compatible. It wasn't the drop I was expecting. So let's hear what we could have been doing. It's sounding great. It's sounding great. This is just dotting the I's. It's sounding great. It's hitting minus 5.2 loves. Great job. It's not too harsh. I think I didn't put it up to party mode yet. I should get lights for party mode so I can turn it up and turn on party mode. Well, yeah. If anybody knows anything, I think I'm just gonna get a disco ball or something. What I would do is just leave a little bit more room there, so the section before this goes down in level, maybe the entire section, maybe you just automate it down so it goes down, 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 and then it jumps up again. That way you don't have to invent more loudness and more headroom, but you can simply trick people's ears by going like, hey, I'm taking away the candy, and now you've got the candy again, and now you're happy. And now it feels like I really overhauled that entire section, and it's bumping up like it has never done before. But actually, a minute ago was doing the same thing. I just took something away and I gave it back to you. And now you feel like you've got a brand new experience. That's great. Hey, Kuba, I think, yeah, man, I already did your track. You were late to the party. So just check it. The video will be online as well, so you can watch that back. I said some pretty mean stuff about you, so you might wanna watch it. I don't know how harsh I was on you, but it's fine. It's all constructive feedback here. That's what I need to watch out for. I was like, is this too compressed? Is this too squashed? Is this too crushed? So it wasn't you that was the -5 loves, it was me. Sorry, this happens. I try to have all of these variables and everything. I try to be able to do everything, but it's all so hidden away. That's why that's why we have analog gear, guys. Because for example, I've got my Tegeler cream here, and then I've got a VU meter just telling me all of the time how much it's compressing. So somewhere I should just have these three on a screen here so I can actually manipulate it and see it while I'm doing the live stream. Or I should have like a hardware device, but then it's getting converted into analog and I don't want that. So I'm really sorry. You can regard the last 10 minutes of feedback as not as non-existent. There is some low end power to this. I don't know why I thought that would do anything. Okay, let me start over. By the way, yeah, Sitsu, you had a pretty different genre, but I want everybody to feel welcome here. So no matter what genre you do, I'll just give you feedback that I hear and then give you the disclaimer of, hey, it's not the genre I usually work with, so maybe take it with a grain of salt. Take anything I do with a grain of salt, basically. Okay, I need to not touch this XLR and the stand anymore because it gets annoying. Okay. I now feel that you have some loves to win because I just basically crushed your entire track and then it was loud, but now it's on -10 and I feel that you need to at least gain 3 LUFS. So get to -7. That would be ideal, I think. I think that the kick can come down. Let's see how much the kick is peaking above the rest of the track. I always use the alpha that. Piano is loud. Not necessarily in a bad way. I think the piano being so loud and so compressed actually works in your favor. Definitely for this genre. That was the section I was talking shit about, wasn't it? Still, I would do the same thing. I think also the piano can go down in the section before it, so when that the hook drops, then the piano is all of a sudden a little bit louder and a little bit more energetic, and it just pushes the mix a little bit more. That's what I would do. Fractured Polaris. Okay, let's first check if I'm not butchering your track. 0-0. I almost had a couple of dips already by default. Fractured, yes. Love it. I think we can push it up a bit.
I feel the thirst to I feel the thirst to
Okay, I feel the vocal is a little bit buried. I know that your guitars need to have weight and low end to them, but the low end just feels a little bit uncontrolled. And I feel that if your low end in your guitars would be a little bit more punchy, it would just get the groove of the entire track to come out a lot more. Also, in the low end, I think you could make space for the vocal a little bit more. In the low end, the low mids of the guitars I'm talking about then. Because it's a little bit buried right now. Also because the vocal is not that present. The guitars are also not super present. I think you're leaving a lot of frequency real estate. Let's call it that way, so we can sell it later, so we can monetize the frequencies. Yeah, you're leaving that onbenut, we say in Dutch, unoccupied. Don't know if that's the right word, but you're not using it. That's basically what I want to say.
But the North Star will show the truth. Wrapping this it beckons to me.
I have 2 little hours on metal, which I think this is, to actually say anything useful about frequencies and anything. So I'm not going to burn my hands on that. I do feel
like a hailstorm, forever will shine.
the kick is not coming through, and the bass is also not super defined. So I think in the low end, you definitely have some battles that could get sorted still. To actually, the kick is a big thing here, and yes, the top end clickiness is definitely very metal and very poking through, but the bottom low end push and the actual feeling of the kick, I am not really getting.
And I never will fade. This pain I'm suffering drives me.
Nice. Keep it darker. You could also choose to have it a little bit more centered, and then when the extra guitar comes in, bam, you're wide.
Suffering drives me.
You're already bam, you're wide, but maybe you could even do it a little bit more. Okay, let's do one more. We're going into bonus time. 90 minutes of this game are done, but I tackled a couple of people. So there's honey, I'm not a football guy, so I have no clue what I'm talking about, but you're getting extra time. I hope you're happy with it. Wurlitzer. Mix the exchange.
I'm getting to eat. Business. The mob. Tech. Yeah. Central. What's happening?
Oh, DJ Century.
I must be tripping. Niggas game time. My own blood started hating. I ain't lying, yeah. Couldn't believe it. Ain't wanna see it, but I ain't blind, yeah. That shit hurt, but I ain't crying, yeah. Switched up for strangers, but I ain't mad. I got management for my anger. But I can't lie, OTE the mob, you go against it, you in danger, yeah. Heard what you said, no response, ain't nothing to say. It's just easy to get you out my way. I've been so solid, they'll do that shit for free, ain't gotta pay, yeah. Love me for dead, but I ain't dead, yeah.
Mono compatibility is very important. The wide synth just is not there anymore, which just leaves the 808, the drums, and the vocal, and that just becomes too naked. So yeah, that's definitely something you need to get into your systems. Check the mix in mono.
Hey, that bed, and that's your bed, yeah. Might watch your story for that low, cause if I say you gotta go, yeah. Try to be cool, but I done went back cold.
Vocal mix is good though.
This that nigga you ain't never wanna know. This that nigga you ain't never wanna meet. Now you fool, you on that plate, I gotta eat, I gotta feast. All the
Low end's it's good.
time I think about the times I used to take, I hustle different now. It brought so much hate. Don't say you love me, it ain't no love, it all be fake. Don't do no internet,
I would have liked to have the bass line that's a little bit tucked away louder. Just make me do the entire switch of that bass line.
like that's a woman trait.
Maybe it was already there, but it was overpowered with a lot of other stuff. But there I would have put it up so it's a very big contrast over the 808 stuff from before.
What's happening? Must be tripping. Niggas game time. My own blood started hating. I ain't lying, yeah. Couldn't believe it. Ain't wanna see it, but I ain't blind, yeah. That shit hurt, but I ain't crying, yeah. Switched up for strangers, but I ain't mad. I got management for my anger. But I can't lie. OTE tomorrow, if you go against it, you in danger, yeah. Heard what you said, no response, ain't nothing to say. It's just easy to get you out my way. I've been so solid, they'll do that shit for free. Ain't gotta.
Okay. The mix as the mix, how I'm hearing it now, is nice. But here comes the tricky part. It's on, what was it, -10 LUFS. Can I just...
Love me for dead, but I ain't dead yet. You made that bed, and that's your bed, yeah. Might watch your story for that low, cause if I say you gotta go, yeah. Try to be cool, but I done went back cold.
It's on -10 LUFS. That is not going to cut it. Stuff like this, well, it's a sparse production. It's not a banger, but I think -8, -7, you should be able to do. If I put a limiter on there, knocking off 2 dB, I am getting a little bit too much bumping there. It's doing too much stuff. So that means that in the mix, we need to take down the 808 and kick a little bit, but they need to hit equally hard. So there is where it becomes tricky. It's an art form to make a mix loud. So there is something you could still there's some wins to get. I feel my English is not Englishing anymore. It's because I've been yapping for an hour and a half straight. My voice is giving up on me. I'm also coming up with a goal here. So I think that is it for me. Thanks so much for joining me. I love this. I will put the links in the description. So if you come back later and you want to try Boombox and you want to get a discount, then it will be in the description as soon as I post. If you liked it, I think you all liked it. If you didn't, let me know and I'll just not do this anymore. But I think you guys liked it. I really liked it a lot. I could do this weekly. So yeah, I want to thank Boombox for enabling me to do this. And I will hopefully see you next week because we've got a lot of extra tracks to do. Wurlitzier was the track we finished with. So Inbound and then A Lot of Numbers is the first one coming up. I'll see you on another video. Later.